that we mean business.
Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. And this week we head into our usual Black History Month selections. And we are starting off with one of the craziest of blaxploitation films series, stars, I think, ever. Uh, Dolemite. Yes, you've heard of Shaft, you've heard of Superfly, Truck Turner, TNT Jackson, but nobody beats Dolemite. Created by Rudy Ray Moore, who, if you've seen the Eddie Murphy movie Dolemite Is My Name, you will have learned he was a underground comedian. His comedy bits would never have gotten played on radio, and he kind of sold them, in back alleys and stuff, according to the movie. But Moore self-financed this film, which was his first. And it was a character he would use several times over. He also was in the sequel, The Human Tornado. Then there were two films where he played different characters. The Monkey Hustle, and ended the 70s with Disco Godfather, in which, before that was Petey Wheatstraw, which was a supernatural action film in which he played the title character, who the name was taken from an old blues singer, Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law. So he fought kung fu battles with a bunch of demons. And as I said, ended out the 70s with Disco Godfather, the final Dolemite film up to that time. In the 80s, he did like TV and film appearances in films like Penitentiary 2 and the TV show Martin, as well as some music videos. He was in the Ramones video for Substitute and the Snoop Dogg video Doggy Dog World. And then he made, in the late 90s, a comeback as Dolemite with three films: Shaolin Dolemite, Big Money Hustlers, and The Dolemite Explosion. Now the director is D'Urville Martin, who was also a actor. Again, if you've seen the movie Dolemite Is My Name with Eddie Murphy, by the way, that is one of Eddie Murphy's best acting jobs he had done since like the early 90s, like the Nutty Professor films, or the, was it Dreamgirls, I think, was the one where he played a James Brown knockoff. Anyway, D'Urville Martin, as I said, if you've seen the film, they got him. He was a popular supporting player in films like Watermelon Man, the Fred Williamson movies Hammer and Black Caesar, Hell Up in Harlem, and was in the pilot episode of Sheba Baby. And in order to get him in the film, they decided that he would be the director. Most actors want to be a director. And he directed this film as well as another film called Disco 9000. Now, the third main character is played by Jerry Jones, who was also the writer with Rudy Ray Moore. Now, again, he was an actor, more successful in mainstream films because he was in the film version of MASH, Watermelon Man again, with Derville Martin. He was also in the blaxploitation film Hitman and in the Raymond Chandler-based Robert Altman film Long Goodbye. Now, along with Dolemite, he also wrote the script for its follow-up, Human Tornado. That was a film where Dolemite began talking the way Rudy Ray Moore did in his stand-up routine, in which he would tell stories with a rhyming pattern. Our fourth main character is Lady Reed, who plays Queen Bee, Dolemite's number one babe. And her entire acting career consists of Dolemite, Human Tornado, Petey Wheatstraw, and Disco Godfather, the Rudy Ray Moore films. Rudy Ray Moore's films are an acquired taste. They were spoofing, for the most part, the blaxploitation thing. If you had a hero whose lovemaking was so forceful that the bed would break, Dolemite's lovemaking would be so forceful that the entire room would collapse from it. He would, you've got Shaft with his clothes. Rudy Ray Moore had his own clothes. You know, it turned everything up to 11 in blaxploitation, and each film got progressively crazier as they went along. Also, Rudy Ray Moore did not know any martial arts, but he went ahead and did it anyways because it would be funny. He understood funny. Now, we open with Dolemite in prison, but he's called to the warden, where we learn that thanks to the working of his number one mama, Queen Bee, he's convinced the warden that he was framed, and we get to see that in a flashback.
That shit ain't mine. I don't know how it got there.
Framed for stolen furs and lots of illicit cocaine. Well, he's been in prison for 2 years now, and the drug trade's gotten even worse. And then comes the bad news. During gang war, because guns are also becoming a big problem, Dolemite's nephew got caught in the crossfire.
Dolemite, it's real bad out there. Some gang killed your nephew the other day. He was coming home the other day, just him and his girlfriend, and they wasn't bothering nobody.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, that's enough for Dolemite. What do they want him to do? Simple. They're going to release him. He's going to bust up all this stuff because he's going to be the target for them all. That's fine by Dolemite. There's only one caveat.
Only 4 people who'll know why you're on the street. The governor, Queen Bee, myself, and one FBI man that nobody knows till the time comes.
Sure. Works for us. So the next day, Dolemite's released in his prison-issued suit, but his girls show up, and we get to see him change into something a little more resplendent. Like I said, Shaft and Superfly ain't got nothing on Dolemite's attire. Well, he and his girls head out in his Cadillac, but somebody's onto him already.
There they go. Let's get them.
Remember, we want Dolemite dead.
What about the broads?
Forget them.
But Dolemite was expecting it. And after a quickie with two of his women, he puts his own plan into action.
She's telling the truth. He's not here. Well, where is he?
Breathing down your neck.
Tis but a scratch.
Well, Dolemite ain't playing around. Well, after he finally gets to his establishment of ill repute, we learn that he's lost his club to Willie Green. Seems he ran things until they were so in debt, Willie had to take it over. $50,000 they owe him. And he also took Dolemite's #1 girl, Pinky, as a dancer. And also, Queen Bee has had all the girls learn karate because things have been getting rough and they need to take care of themselves.
He's in the hospital yet with his ass in a sling.
Hi, keeper.
Now, someone Dolemite may want to look into for information is someone known as the Creeper, or the Hamburger Pimp, which is what Dolemite calls him. But we'll get to him later. Right now, we get a quick look at Willie Green's establishment. We'll skip that. And Dolemite satisfying himself with one of the other girls. We'll skip that too. And then after that, two cops, Mitchell and White, who just happened to be the ones that set him up the first time, pay him a little visit.
I ain't done nothing.
Well, you haven't yet, but you will.
Well, what have we here?
Now they know it's premium stuff because Mitchell snorts some of it to test it. Not sure that's quite legal, but anyways, now that they have this evidence, they let him know he's better be getting out of town or else things may go bad for him. Well, Dolemite ain't going for that. He beats both of them up and then dumps the cocaine all over them. This does not sit well with Mitchell and White. But they got other things to do. So, like getting themselves cleaned back up. Then they go over to Reverend Gibbs's church to check to see if Dolemite's there, which he isn't. But they do make another discovery.
Hey, preacher. What do you got here?
Oh, just some old clothes for the poor.
Uh-oh. Looks like things are looking bad for the Reverend.
Now, where'd you get all these guns? They're just gifts from the big man.
Oh, the big man. I suspect it is not Willie Green. Anyways, we then cut Dolemite, who's on his way to find the Creeper, and gets stopped by a bunch of his fans, and so he gives up one of his rhyming stand-up routines. At which point, we're going to have to skip that, because, as I said, a lot of F and S bombs in it. Anyways, after that, he runs into the Creeper. And check this guy out.
Yeah, I'm so bad I kick my own ass twice a day. Gee, you ain't said nothing.
Fun fact. They couldn't get anyone to play the part. They were using friends and people from one of the actors' acting schools. So they were just out driving around when they spotted this guy. Offered him the role on the spot. And you can see why. He's a character. Anyways, they go back to his place where after an unfortunate injection of illicit substance, Dolemite has to rough him up a bit to get the story of what happened to his nephew, little Jimmy.
And the dude was digging stuff over the schoolhouse, man, and he wanted out, man, and they wouldn't let him. He went to the police, didn't do no good. One day he was on his way to the pad, lowriders passed by, man, and blew him up.
No, unfortunately, before they can get any more, some visitors show up.
I've had worse.
So much for the creeper. Dolemite's a tougher prospect, though.
Hi, keeper.
And I'm sure we can all guess who shows up next.
If he makes a wrong move, kill him.
What's the charge this time, man?
This time it's murder.
I guess self-defense might not work in these circumstances, although that is what happened. We were introduced to a new character now, another detective named Burke, and he goes to see Reverend Gibbs.
Well, I'm going to give you a chance to level with me, Reverend. Who do you work for, Really Green or Dolemite?
I work for nobody but the Lord.
Well, that didn't go anywhere. So he tries his luck at questioning Dolemite in jail, and that goes even less far. But then Dolemite gets bailed out.
Hey, taxi, mister?
Pinky Yvonne, what brings you down?
Now, don't you worry about that. Just get in. Come on.
Ah, the infamous Pinky. Well, they head back to her place, where after a quiet session of lovemaking, he starts to question her about Willie Green and her relationship with him, and perhaps she's a spy, which causes them to fight, and then he has a little bit more of a rougher session with her, which of course brings her around to his side, because he's Dolemite. Well, after that tryst, he then calls up to Queen Bee and has her send Shy over to his old club with a key. And she arrives, gives it to him, where he heads into the back office, much to the chagrin of the guys running the place.
Where you going, Dolemite? You don't own this place anymore, man. This is Willie Green place. Where you done throwing shit around, man, and cutting the fucking carpet? Where you going with the money, man? I just might call the police on you.
I bet they're kicking themselves, considering they didn't even know that money was there. Well, it's $50,000, enough to pay off the debt. But he also has a little message he needs them to send to Willie Green.
Give that to Willie Green. And tell him I want him out of here in 24 hours. And 23 of them are already gone.
I think we know how they're going to take that.
Hi, keeper.
Well, that doesn't sit well with Willie Green. Apparently he's lost the club, so it's time he went to see the big man, who just happens to be the mayor.
Now, Willie, you don't have to worry about him. Look, I know he's back. In fact, I had him bailed out so that I could hit him whenever we're ready.
It's High Pike.
And there was much rejoicing.
One of my favorite actors. Well, sorry. After he calms Willie down and Willie leaves, he makes a phone call.
Mitchell. Sheriff, listen. Take care. Right. Keep my name clean. And Mitchell, Listen, I don't like Willie Green. I don't want him coming here anymore.
Oh, things don't look like they're going well for Willie Green. Meanwhile, Reverend Gibbs sets up a meeting with Dolemite.
Here. Take the citrus on the docks. Go there tomorrow morning. You might find it very interesting if you get a chance to check out the fish.
Well, Dolemite doesn't like all this cryptic stuff, so he demands his $200 back.
Then we'd have to close it for you.
Come on. That's what I say about you, Reverend. You ask you a sensible question, you come out with a sensible answer.
Okay. Well, nothing to do but put on a disguise and check out the docks.
Cocaine, just what I expected.
Okay, that's how the stuff's getting in. No time for all that stuff, though, because it's time for Dolemite's grand reopening of his club. And he's got a pretty kicking band in it. And check out who's on the keyboards.
It's time on the side. It's time on the side.
A young James Ingram, before he became the R&B superstar in the 80s and 90s. Well, not only are all of Dolemite's friends there, but Willie Green decides to crash the place and enjoy some of the entertainment, which also includes a dance troupe and Dolemite doing his infamous monkey routine, which, again, if you've seen Dolemite Is My Name with Eddie Murphy, you would have heard Eddie Murphy do a version of that. And then it's time for Dolemite to have a tete-a-tete with Willie.
You cheated me. You paid me a lousy $50,000.
That's right. Now what's your problem?
Well, it's no problem. It's just interest. $100,000.
Pretty steep interest. But Willie Green's willing to waive that if they can come to another sort of understanding.
Partners. Okay? I saw you act. You're pretty damn good. You know your business. You take care of business, I take care of the heat.
Well, Dolemite has the reaction you would expect and tells him to go F himself, which doesn't sit well with Willie Green. Oh no, not Queenie. It's okay, she shows up in the next film. Well, Pandelirium breaks out. Man, they play rough. Oh, as for Dolemite?
Watch out!
All right, we'll call it a draw.
Yeah, the scene was supposed to end with him pulling out some of Willie Green's innards, but they had to cut that to get an R rating, and apparently the footage is lost.
God damn, Dolemite. That's all for you, it's on me.
Awfully nice of him. Well, he takes Dolemite to the hospital, and information about this reaches the mayor, who's in bed with Pinky, and she overhears him putting out a contract on Dolemite.
All right. Pinky, I'm gonna do anything you want. You just name it.
It's too late for that.
No, please, don't kill me!
So much for Pinky. Well, Mayor tries to skip town with his ill-gotten goods, but Burke, who is the FBI man that we all suspected, chases him to the airfield. Well, that takes care of our main villain. There's still that contract out on Dolemite, though. But Dolemite's not that easy to kill. Well, just leaves one last thing to wrap up.
Drop it, Mitchell. You too, White.
What the hell's the matter with you, Blakely? You got crazy? This man's a murderer. I gotta take him in.
I'm on to your game, Mitchell. It's all over. I work for the FBI, and I'm gonna see that the both of you do time.
Now we have our amusing epilogue.
Sorry we had to close you up, Dolemite, but I guess you can understand why. But you're a free man.
Well, we can't have this guy running a brothel, can we? Well, I don't think they really needed to close the nightclub, but so be it. And that was Rudy Ray Moore's debut of his signature character, Dolemite, a character that had a major influence not only on Snoop Dogg and several other rappers with his rhyming, joke-telling, and Eddie Murphy, of course, which is one of the reasons why he did the biopic, but also, not surprising, Quentin Tarantino, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of just about all exploitation films. But as I said earlier, Rudy Ray Moore is a bit of an acquired taste. His films are absurd. The acting kind of fluctuates, as we've seen in some clips. Some acting's good, some is woefully inadequate. This film kind of meanders a bit. There's like breaks for things like, gathering everybody around in the parking lot to tell one of his stories, which adds nothing to the film, but is something that Rudy Ray Moore fans would enjoy. And of course, the extremely long section in the final third of the film, which had like 2 music numbers and then another Rudy Ray Moore performance. It just kind of stops the plot in its tracks, but it does get it to feature length. And this one isn't quite as funny as some of his later ones, where he got more outrageous. As a first attempt, they were kind of skewing a line where he wanted, I get the feeling he wanted to make an actual serious action film, but the comedian in him just wouldn't let it completely go completely serious. And he had to have realized a lot of people, he didn't have the budget for a great film, and he didn't have the acting for a great film, but he had an entertaining film. And this is something, if you like absurd films, if you liked Black Dynamite, which is very similar to this, although it's a little more airplane-ish in its gags. You'll probably like this. This is one of the big influences on it, you can tell. But yeah, if this doesn't get you into Rudy Ray Moore, I don't know what would. It's a fun film. I had to cut a lot out. A lot of nudity. A lot of F-bombs. I cut out as much as I could, but wow. Just on the expletives alone, this thing got an R rating. And, yeah, a lot of absurd plot points. You know, the whole thing of women falling all over themselves to get in bed with him. And he knows his physique is not exactly like Richard Roundtree or Ron O'Neill's. Which kind of helps with the absurdity. And let's be honest, Rudy Ray Moore is a rather cool individual. At least to me. And very funny. So, yeah, a good start to our Black History Month reviews. And next week we'll have something a little different. Maybe even a little classy. If it goes well. Anyways, please hit like, share, and subscribe, and stay after the credits for my favorite scene.
You're under arrest. You're gonna have to take me!